Skip, do you believe this is a new Zeke?
Look, could be a little PR spin and propaganda from Zeke's camp, from his agent, but I have seen these pictures, and I believe they're real, and I have heard the testimony of our man Eric Dickerson, who was summoned to Cabo San Europe, as I'm now calling it, Cabo San Lucas, to hang out with Zeke, impart some wisdom to Zeke, go to dinner with Zeke, check out Zeke mentally, physically, and he swears by what he saw. So I'll take that to my personal bank. And I must admit, I am pleasantly shocked at the way Ezekiel Elliott, it sounds like, dedicated himself to just football for the last 6 weeks. He could have gone back to Columbus, Ohio, which is nothing but trouble to me. He could have gone back to where he's from, St. Louis, which can be nothing but trouble for him. He could have hung around in Dallas, Texas, and trust me on this, that can be nothing but trouble for Ezekiel Elliott. But he committed to getting better for football, it sounds like. He dedicated all but 2 days, according to his camp, of the 6 weeks to this resort that's like a half hour outside Cabo San Lucas, so you're kind of relatively isolated. All you're doing is, to use your word, training, eating to win instead of eating to ruin your body.
Right.
And the pictures say, way to go.
Yep.
They do, because he lost his little pot belly that he had.
Yeah.
He looks like he's got some actual definition that he never had in his upper body.
Well, he looks like he's getting ready for the draft. You remember when he came out?
Yeah.
He used to have his shirt all rolled up and have like tennis balls in his stomach.
He did.
And then all of a sudden he had a little pony keg up under there.
He did. No, he did. And it was a little scary to me at the first of the year, but he's so gifted that it didn't seem to bother him.
Nope.
But now, can he take it up another level?
Right.
Maybe. I'm going to say it again. I will trust him physically because I can see that. Psychologically, mentally, hope so, like what I'm hearing, like the positive signs. But he's had some issues with alcohol. I thought maybe he would address those in the 6 weeks. And Eric Dickerson said, well, we did go out and have some drinks. So apparently that's still operating, okay? He didn't actually jump on the wagon, right?
Right.
Not that he was ever on the wagon before. But in the end, do I like what I'm hearing? Am I surprised by this? Because this is not his usual pattern of behavior. He likes to have a good time.
Right.
He likes to party. He likes the night lights. He likes Dallas, Texas. And he left all that behind for 6 weeks, except for the 2 days that they said he flew home for Thanksgiving. Good. And then he made a bet with Eric Dickerson. I'm going to have 200 yards against the Seahawks. I thought that was impossible until last Sunday. And after what I saw Todd Gurley do to the Seahawks at Seattle,
He might get
I
250.
think he might get close to 200. I don't want to go to 200. But so, look, am I buying? I'm buying with the little asterisk that his history tells me be careful. But this is pretty great, what he did so far.
It doesn't matter what I believe. It matters what Zeke will show and what he will prove. Now the ball is in his court, Skip. He says that he's gone to this location, and sometimes it takes you going through things that you didn't see yourself going through or you didn't have any idea could possibly happen to you to get you to focus or refocus of what your priorities should be. Looking at those photos, I agree with you, Skip. I believe that the man rededicated himself. And my only thing is like, oh, it took you getting suspended for you to dedicate yourself to your craft.
I'm with
you.
you.
But whatever it took, sometimes, Skip, sometimes people have to go through things. Everybody doesn't see things or get it as soon as everybody else does. So he had to go through this. And going away and having something that he really loves. We know this young man loves football. To have that taken away, it gave him an opportunity to refocus.
Yep.
Now, for whatever reason, maybe him doing the documentary, maybe doing that and telling his side of the story, Skip, maybe that's therapy.
And that's what they did during the 6 weeks. Yeah, go ahead.
Maybe that's going to be therapy for him. But for me, what Zeke needs to understand, I don't believe he's going to change anybody's mind. If you're a Cowboy fan or a Zeke fan, you believe he didn't do it. If you don't like the Cowboys, you don't like Zeke, you believe he did it. So I don't believe he can swing the pendulum one way or another.
I don't even know how much of that is in the documentary, but whatever.
Here's the biggest thing, Skip. He shouldn't spend another waking moment trying to convince someone what he knows. If he said he didn't do it. He says, I've done things. He's been on the record. He says, I've done some things I'm not proud of publicly. I just didn't do that. Okay, he says it. I can take him at his word. I'm not here to disprove or he did, he didn't, he's just lying now. But Skip, sometimes it takes a person. I said this before. For me, I didn't always feel my best. I didn't always feel like training 2 hours a day. I didn't always feel like running. I didn't always feel eating what I eat for survival. And I tell people that today, it's like, well, how do you do this? I say, I eat for survival. You eat for enjoyment. But I would always think about how my grandmother raised her 9 kids, my mom's 3, and she never gave up. So to get me to where I needed to be, I wasn't going to give up because I think my grandmother had a tougher job raising 12 kids than Shannon going out there in 100-degree temperature practicing football or running. So I commend Zeke. I hope this was an eye-awakening experience for him, and we'll never have to talk about Zeke other than him being the best running back in football, him getting 2,000 yards, him leading the Cowboys into the playoffs, into a Super Bowl run. I don't want to hear about anything about Zeke off the field. I don't want to hear, TMZ talking about him. I don't want to hear about him in these tabloids because he's better than this. And he understands now 6 games, that's a lot. Those are 6 games he'll never get back, Skip. He'll never get those back. He's special. And this team is built around him and what he does well. And that's not a knock. And people are like, well, you're just trying. No, that's not a knock on Dak. Dak is not where he's going to be in, say, 3-4 years from now. But where right now, this is a run-based football team. And it's run by that 21 engine. And he looks unbelievable. He looked like old young Shay Sharpe when he was that age. Boy, I was on one, Skip.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few segments from the newest show on FS1, First Things First, with Chris Carter and Nick Wright.